Hey, it's Glenn, and I'm super excited today. I'm pretending it's April 20th. You're going to see this video on April 20th. It's actually April 16th, but it takes so freaking long to format and upload videos that it just makes more sense to film this in advance so that I can make sure that it's up on the 20th, which is the day that my new novel, The Legends of Nod, Book 5, A Hero Before His Time, is published. And I'm so excited about this novel. Not only do I love the novel itself, but it just represents such a victory for me. It's a real return for me as a writer. Book 4 came out in a hardback last year, but it wasn't new content so much. It was a little bit expanded, but it wasn't a new story. It had been serialized from 2015 to 2016. So this novel is actually the first fully new story that I've had come out since 4 years ago, 2017. Short story, An Unexpected Snow, was the last fully brand new material that I actually published. So it's been a long road. It's been a long, hard uphill battle making a comeback after all the crap I went through over the past several years. So yeah, I'm really excited because as of today I'm actually back. And I have so much more. I have so many finished manuscripts that have been through editing and everything, that just waiting on cover art. There's a lot coming, and this is the beginning of the future, which is apropos because it's a time travel novel. But anyway, I wanted to put up a video and say a little bit about this book on the day that it comes out. So it's in hardback and it's in an ebook format for right now. Those are the only two formats. There will be a trade paperback next year. So if you're waiting for a cheaper version, and the hardback is more expensive than I would have wanted it to be, and that's pretty much due to working in small press. There's just I don't get the breaks that big publishers get. And another quirk of that is that while you can order the hardback as of today, you can get the ebook off of Amazon and read it today. But the hardback won't be in major book retailers for a few more weeks. It takes a few more weeks for them to get it in their systems and such. So you can order it. There's a link on my website. You can order it directly from the printer as of today. And right, so back to the price tag. It's a few dollars more than I would have liked it to be. It's over $30. I should have looked this up for the release day video. It's I want to say it's about $35 for the hardback. So, and I would have liked it to be high 20s, like 27-ish, but I'm working on stuff to get around that problem within the next year or so. Hopefully I'll be able to have my hardbacks in the stores the day of release, in the larger retail chains systems, and at a more palatable price. But if you don't want to spend the money on the hardback ebook, $6.99, which is the exact price I want it to be. I feel like that's a fair price for a novel, in that, there's no printing cost to it. It's all pretty much profit. I get 70% of that. Amazon takes the rest. But it costs nothing to print. So why would I charge? I don't understand why people charge, except out of greed, I guess, why people charge like $25 for a freaking ebook. It seems exorbitant. It's ridiculous to me to charge that much for an ebook. But right, and if you want a print version and you want to wait a year, like I said, next year, at some point next year, a trade paperback will be out. And the trade paperbacks, it's easier to get them in the price range that I think is reasonable. I get the exact price I want on a trade paperback. But the hardback's the only glitchy part of this process. But that being said, if you do spend the money for the hardback, not only do I greatly appreciate you, but I promise you're getting a quality product. I'm really proud of not just the content of this book, but the packaging. To me, the packaging is an art form in itself. Not just writing books, but making physical books is an art form to me, and I really get into it. I really enjoy it. I really put so much thought and care into the presentation, and the layout, the logos, the typesetting, all of it, just every aspect of the physical product is an artistic choice that I've made, and I feel like physically this book is gorgeous. And so, in the hardback will have qualities that the trade paperback won't. It has this gorgeous wraparound cover. The trade paperback, the back cover is going to be covered up by the description and such, because there's not an inside flap to put all the writing on. Hardback, you just get this gorgeous illustration on the back. It's not covered up by the book blurb. So that's something to consider. If you pay the extra money for a hardback, you're getting something that I'm proud for you to have. It's a really great book. And so, content-wise, though, because that's what most people care about, is the content. So this is the 5th book in the Legends of Nod, which is such a fun series to write. And like I said, it's a time travel story. So I feel like book 5, just as far as the long arc of this series, I feel like readers are going to return to this book over and over, because there's so much foreshadowing, there's so much stuff that's in this book that you're not going to know. There are no throwaway lines, I'll put it that way. Absolutely no throwaway lines. Everything that is said in this book is deliberate by the characters who are from the future. Because I have a very detailed roadmap of where this series is going. So I plotted this book out as not only a sequel to book 4, but as a sequel to a future book that hasn't been published yet. So the characters from the future in this book are actually, they're from later in the actual series too. So it's crazy stuff, and there are mystery boxes. I I have a policy about mystery boxes. The way I use them, like I feel like there's kind of a bad connotation in some circles if you say mystery box when you talk about storytelling. You know, like the J.J. Abrams style of using a mystery box is to put it in your face, to make it the center of the story. You know, here is a mystery box and this is what the story is about. So you get frustrated because you don't get to know what's in the mystery box. Sometimes not even in, you know, like in Star Wars, the whole mystery box thing there was who are Rey's parents. It was just at the center of the story, and you don't get the answer in episode 7, you don't get the answer in episode 8, you have to wait, you know. So that's not the way I use mystery boxes. To me, I put mystery boxes in the room, off to the side, in the corner, in the shadows, so that a lot of times you don't even know they're there. I feel like for me as a storyteller, that's the best way to use the tool of a mystery box that keeps people intrigued as the series progresses. And so, while the mystery boxes aren't, in my storytelling, in your face and in the middle of the story, there are a lot of mystery boxes off to the side in this novel that I think people are going to come back to as events unfold in future novels. And I'm just really eager to see how people respond to that, like to how people respond to this book, not just today on its release, when it is the latest episode in the series, but in years to come as the series progresses. I can't wait to see how people pick up on things and then come back to this book to say, no, wait, what did he say about this? Is this what he was talking about? Yeah, it's such a fun book, but you know, other than all that, it's just, you know, your typical people come from the future to mess up the day, and they have to figure out how to stop them and how to not muck up the timeline. And that's another thing I did. I had to figure out how time travel works in order to write this novel. I had to come up with something I could believe in order to write it, and because time travel stories frustrate me. They really frustrate me. Rarely do I see time travel handled in narrative in a way that I want it to be done. It feels like people are really sloppy with it. And for some people, that's a deliberate choice. Like Austin Powers. You know, they're all, oh, I've gone cross-eyed. You shouldn't try to figure this out. You know, it's a joke. Back to the Future. It was largely a joke. I mean, those are sci-fi movies, but they're also comedies. So it's when they try to do it seriously and get sloppy, you know. So I had to work out, how does time travel work? Like Star Trek frustrates me the most. And I'm a fan. I love Star Trek. But their time travel stuff is so inconsistent. Like, sometimes they go back in time and it changes the timeline that they're in. Sometimes they go back in time and it creates a parallel timeline. Sometimes they go back in time and they don't change anything because they'd always been back in time. And it's so inconsistent, it doesn't, if you think about it too hard, you'll just go cross-eyed. So I tried to come up with a solid idea of how time works in the world of Nod that I intend to stick to and that won't wreck the continuity moving forward, like the X-Men movies. I mean, I just had to stop caring with X-Men movies after Days of Future Past, because the timeline just doesn't make any sense anymore. It just doesn't work. Like, logically, what they did with time travel just doesn't work. So when I watch an X-Men movie now, I go to just have fun with this movie. I try not to think about the rest of them because that's the only way I can enjoy them. It doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't work as a unified narrative. So, I have one friend who, when I told him I was writing a time travel story, he just said, "Nope, I'm not reading it. I'm done. Time travel always ruins a series." I tried to assure him, and I'm assuring you now, time travel is not going to ruin the Legends of Nod because I'm going to be very consistent with it. I've made some firm choices about how time travel works, and I don't reveal all of that in this novel because, it's a fast-paced adventure pulp novel, just like the previous four. It's not about explaining to you how it all works, but I have it worked out in my head, so promise it's not going to mess things up. It's a very essential part of the Legends of Nod as a whole to have these periodic time travel adventures. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video and tell you how excited I am about this book coming out, and I hope you'll check it out. I hope you'll let me know what you think. If you would be so kind as to post a review on Amazon, that really helps the book to sell if it has reviews on Amazon. I'm not asking for positive reviews. I mean, sometimes negative reviews are hilarious. I could do a whole video about that. But, just any kind of review. Whatever you think, please let me know. I would love to talk about this with anyone. I love talking about my work. I'm very narcissistic and self-absorbed. But other than that, I guess I'll call it a video. I'll call it a vlog. And subscribe below if you're so inclined. Give me a like. All the things to help me get seen, get, a little love from the YouTube algorithm. But, yeah, anyway, thanks for being there, and I'll talk to y'all next time.